Dang. Looks like you win again. You know, you're really good at this game. Man, if only I could solve a mystery in space. Then I'd probably be good at it. Welcome to Tacoma. Tacoma is a first-person exploration game released back in August of 2017 and was developed by Fulbright Studios, the same developers behind the game Gone Home. I really liked that game. I remember playing it one dark and stormy night and getting spooked constantly because I'm incredibly paranoid. I'd recommend playing it if you don't know anything about it. It's a pretty interesting game with a pretty nice story if you're into that sort of thing. If not, it's okay, there's always Minecraft. Sorry, my wife smacked the keyboard. In Tacoma, you play as a space girlie aboard a space station as you recover space data of the missing space crew. That's a lot of space. Space is pretty cool. I've always been fascinated with the planets and such. This one time, I was writing a story about how Jupiter was just a giant spaceship full of alien robots in disguise and was supposed to reap the solar system for resources. And a giant epic space battle happens. But then I remembered I can't write and I was actually just poking a potato with a pencil. We start the game by boarding the space station and taking our handy dandy notebook with us as we leave the comfort of our tiny ship and head on into the station. We then put Frankenstein pins in our neck so the station's AR can recognize us, allowing us to interact with the station and for the station's company to spy on us while we're taking a poop. Floating freely without a care in the world, because we're in space, obviously, we stop for a brief moment to try out our basketball skills. Then it's off to the personnel bay. I should mention that the way the station is set up, the central hub is in zero gravity while the other parts simulate Earth's gravity through centrifugal force, which is pretty fucking sweet. In the personnel bay, we are introduced to one of the key gameplay elements, and that's AR recordings. See, the ship's AI recorded moments of conversation, and you access it through the AR, which allows you to pause, fast forward, rewind, and restart. This allows you to listen in on conversations and see what the crew interacted with, as well as access their heads-up display and recover some of their communications data, such as messages and emails. This can be helpful for solving puzzles, like seeing what numbers they press to unlock an otherwise locked door. Although it's the main focus on research, you still can snoop around and find other things, such as letters and photos that give personality to each of the characters. Speaking of the characters, the space crew consists of 6 members. There's Evie the administrator, Natalie the network specialist, Sarah the medic, Roberta the mechanical engineer, Clive the operations specialist, Andrew the botanist, and Clifford the big red dog. Our first AR recording we recover, we discover that the station has collided with some debris and has lost its external communications, as well as its oxygen life support, limiting the amount of breathable air on the station, which naturally raises some concerns. It's almost like these people need air to breathe or something. We also learn a lot about the crew and their relationships with each other, as well as their connections with people on Earth, giving each character a lot of personality and depth. It's as if the developers wanted us to believe these lines of computer code have hopes and feelings, unlike people in the real world. We eventually leave the personnel bay and make our way to the biomedical bay, where we recover some more AR data, and this time it seems that a plan is starting to hatch. The crew decided to save oxygen by having most of the staff enter cryosleep for a short time, while some are tasked with jerry-rigging a life support system to a transport vessel so they can evacuate the ship. Emergency escape pods? Pfft, more like emergency escape. Don't have any. I got nothing. I think as far as the story goes, I'm going to stop right there so I don't spoil it for anybody else that wants to play it, so let's take a quick look at other aspects of the game. As far as graphics go, the game looks really nice. The environment is well put together, and I especially like the way space looks outside of the station. Plus, as a bonus, all the windows are fitted with shutters in case seeing space gives you anxiety and makes you think of how vast of an emptiness your future is. The controls are pretty simple. You move, look around, and interact with things, so it's all pretty basic. The game offers full controller support, but I use the keyboard and mouse because no matter how hard I tried, I just couldn't figure out how to work this thing. The voice acting is really well done and made the characters all around believable. They did a good job expressing a lot of emotions, unlike my parents, who after raising me are now dead inside. All in all, I quite enjoyed my playthrough of Tacoma. I'm not sure if I'd revisit it again, since this is a story-driven game without multiple endings. There's not really any reason for replaying it after you've experienced the story. Unless you're going for all of those highly useful Steam achievements so you have something to be proud of in your otherwise miserable life. So was it any fun? Well, it's technically more interesting. The story really had me invested and I really enjoyed playing it. It certainly helped take my mind off the looming despair of my future demise that haunts me every single night as I lie awake staring at the ceiling, which is blurred from my tear-stained eyes. Thank you all so much for watching. If you liked it, be sure to click that like button and subscribe while you're at it, and I will see you in the next video.